Hey everybody, how are you? This is Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher. It is Saturday, January 27th, I guess. I don't know. I mean, my brain is fried. Anyway, how are you? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope all of you that are receiving these torrential rainstorms are okay. Our snow has melted. It's yesterday when I was driving home from school, the thermometer thingy in the van said 67 degrees. Welcome to Pennsylvania. All right. So this is the way we roll. So the snow is gone. Grandson's running around in a sweatshirt. What do you do? All right. So I am going to show you some WIPS. I'm going to show you a little bit of haul that's happened over the last month. I'm going to redo a couple of shares because people have not contacted me who were pulled from the random comment picker. Okay. So please do me a favor. If you are truly interested in the charts that I choose to share, please make sure you check back and watch the video for when I pull them, because if you don't contact me in a week or two, let's say 2 weeks, then I'm going to redraw. Okay. And I know that some of these charts are not to everybody's liking. That's fine. But please only enter if you are truly, truly, truly wanting that chart, because somebody else may want it. All right. So you may notice behind me that I've cleaned up a little bit. Shocker, right? Still working on that. And I'm hoping that once my student teacher kicks in a couple of weeks, that I will have more time for me in the evening. I'm also hoping that next weekend on Saturday evening, I think it's Saturday evening, I would like to have a Zoom stitch get together. So if you are part of the Facebook group Disorderly Stitcher, then please join us. I will post the link there. And, it's just a chance for you to come in and stitch and chit chat. And, we love to see your face, but I get it. Some people don't like to put their face on Zoom. Believe me, I dealt with 8th graders. Excuse me. So anyway, that's the plan. Now, remember, I'm disorderly, so plans go at the last minute. What else is new and exciting? Not much. Not much at all. Can't think of anything. All right, so book of days. Here we go. I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can with filling it out. You can see a couple of days there, like here and here. I fell asleep when I got home from school, and I'm just out of it after that. One day I was grading. That's life, right? Right. So I have the new WIPGO numbers were called for February, and the new Boss Me numbers were called for February, and the new Heifer numbers were called for February. Now, if you're not sure what those three things are, it really started with WIPGO, I believe, and Jessie Marie does stuff. She created it's like bingo. All right. So she picks two numbers, you create a chart, she picks two numbers, and those are your two WIPs that you work on that month. And you can work on them for one day, you can work on them for 5 days, you can do 10 hours, you can do so many stitches, whatever floats your boat. And so then Boss Me is Boston, Maine Stitchers, and I was given the opportunity to join them. That's Kathy and Missy from Two Needles Pulling Thread. They pretty much spearheaded this whole thing. Same concept. And then the Floss Boston Cousins started Heifer, because, you know, the phrase down there is don't be heifer. All right. So I thought, what the heck? And as if you watched a couple videos ago, you know that I made my charts what I consider very generic. I didn't put specific WIPS that I wanted to work on, because that, I think, is what stressed me out last year. So I have things on mine like if it has a bird on it, if it had words on it, if it has red in it, if it has blue in it, etc. And so far, so good. Now, I've also pulled back on my expectations. Last year it was 5 days. This year it's stitching on it 3 times. Now, that could be twice in one day. That could be 3 times in one day. I have found for a couple of them that I'm so into it, I want to keep going for a couple of days. So it gives me just enough time, but it also allows me to continue. All right. I want to enjoy my stitching. I don't want to be stressed out by it. You know, I don't think that's what we should do with our stitching. It's meant to be enjoyed, right? Right? So, like, if you read my shirt, be kind. Be kind to yourself. Let yourself enjoy it. So here's my WIP Go board. Let me see if I can hold this up in a way that you can see it so we're not looking through the paper. All right, so there's my WIP Go board. Now, like I said, this is Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She does have a floss tube. So you can see by the highlighted ones, the one was red and the one was Quaker. And I think I posted last time that was my Blessing Sampler from Chris the Camping Stitcher and Bluebird Quaker. This month, it's a Christmas and brown. So anything with brown in it, anything that's Christmassy, I'm good. All right. I haven't started those yet. Lo and behold, let's see. This is kind of weird. My heifer board, if you see, where are they? February. They were picked. It was 21 and 10. Look at that. They're both Santas. So, since my goal is 3 stitching sessions on each one, I could work on a Santa for 6 days and pound that out. And I will show you what I decided to do momentarily. And then my Boss Me board, cha-ching, I had already done one of the draws. The first one was 7, I believe, and the other one was 25. If I got the numbers wrong, they'll let me know. But anyway, there we go. So I had already spent time cataloging my charts. I just created a Google spreadsheet, and if I think about it, I'll take a picture and insert it here. But 90% of my charts are on that spreadsheet. I have way too many charts. But anyway, and the second one was my Summer Quaker. And oddly enough, I had started it before the numbers were drawn just because it called to me. All right. So technically my February draws, if I have the right numbers, are done. If I screwed up, oh well. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to write that down because I need to start taking notes as to what I say I'm going to do. Right? So I need to insert pic of spreadsheet. Because I think I have said that before, that I'm going to do something and then I forget and I feel bad and life goes on. All right. So there's my book of days. So one thing I decided to help me in order to remember what I have worked on between videos, I had purchased, because I saw this and I loved it. This is from 1803 Basket Company in Ohio. I love it. It's going to go to retreat with me, so it'll hold what I'm working on. But for now, it's holding what I have worked on, so I know what to show you. So let's start with Santa. So I decided, and of course I didn't bring the chart out, but I decided to pull another one of my Prairie Schooler Santas. Now I believe I have all of them. Some of them are the old cardstock. Some of them are on the reprint. And I just decided to do one of them. I didn't get a big start on it last night because I did some on the Summer Quaker, but there it is. So I have his hand and a little bit of his coat. I'm doing it on the 18 count Davos, which is what is called for. It's a very loose weave. I'm using 2 threads, and it's all DMC. Oops, you didn't see that chart, did you? So I love it. And eventually I want to have them all done. I want to try and make ornaments out of them. And, you know, those, when I say finishing, fully finishing, those things are going to happen after I retire. I need to be in the zone when it comes to things like that. And right now I'm not in the zone. So that's that. All right. So Summer Quaker. This is a cheater print, so don't get excited. This was actually a bag fabric for a bag pattern that I had ordered from Missouri Star Quilt Company, and I never made the bag. So I used the fabric for a project bag. All right, so Summer Quaker. This is on 36 count ledger by Bestitch Me, 1 thread over 2. I got to flip this around so you don't see the chart. So this is Summer Quaker. There's a lot of blue grays in there, but I fell in love with it. Not realizing that I'd already purchased Spring Quaker, but you know what? Why not? So I started up in this corner. All right. And what I had done was like maybe 3 or 4 of those corner motifs going down that row. All right. So I think I worked on it about 4 or 5 evenings. And, you know, it's not ironed because I don't do that. I just pull it out of the hoop and let it rest. This is what I have done. I finished that big side motif last night, and that's when I decided to go to work on a Santa. But I'm excited. All right, so that's Summer Quaker. Here are the threads. Like I said, they're all DMC. So there we go. It's kind of fun. You know, the thing about those kind of things are that you can finish a motif and move on and feel like you've accomplished something. So that's on the list of things to do. All right. So I don't know what motivated me, but after I was done with January, and I keep it in my Hungry Caterpillar bag because, you know, you can never have too much Eric Carle. I pulled out, and I didn't. Did I show you this time? I don't know. I pulled out On Prudence by Plum Street. So there's the chart. And you know, that's a saying that I would love to tell my 8th graders. What's in the mind, let no one know, nor to thy friends thy secret show. For if thy friends should prove thy foe, then all the world thy secrets know. That's teenagers. You know what I mean? So anyway, the called for threads are Gentle Arts Weeks, Gentle Arts and Weeks. Okay. And I've taken to keeping my charts in sleeve protectors because that way they're flat and I can follow the chart and it stays clean. So here's the threads. And I started up in the corner and it's still in the hoop. I got to take it out. Sorry about that. And all I did was start with the border. And once you get the rhythm, it's not that hard. Did this during the football games last weekend. Now that the Packers are out, I'm rooting for the Lions. Yes. I really, really want them to be in the Super Bowl, you know, because they haven't had a lot of luck or a lot of success or whatever you want to call it over the past 30 years. And yeah, they deserve a chance. Right? Right. So this is done on 36 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. This is my project card that I developed. And I have the flosses on the back and any notes that I make, like if I substitute anything. So there's that. So the called for fabric was actually navy bean, vintage navy bean by Lakeside. Well, finding Lakeside is, you know, about as easy as finding a 4-leaf clover. You'd have more success finding a 4-leaf clover than you would finding Lakeside linen. If anybody knows where you can get a hold of Lakeside linen, please share. Okay? All right, not on that one yet. Another thing that called to me was working on the Courage sampler by Praiseworthy Stitches. All right, now, I'm sure you've seen this done by a lot of other people. I'm keeping this in a Teresa Kogut bag that I purchased from Goose. She makes wonderful bags. I have my little card here that I also use sometimes. This is done on Graveyard Mist by Lap and Loops, 36 count. It's a piece that I purchased off of the D-Stash, I believe, and there you go. So, the actual chart, sorry for the crinkling, I'll get it away from the microphone so that we aren't crinkling all that much. So, I bought this chart from Keepsakes when I was at StitchCon last year, and I had Pam sign it. Pam of Just Keep Stitching. She decided to do this in celebration of her 30th year being cancer-free from breast cancer, and a lot of stitchers have jumped on it. So she's doing hers in pinks for breast cancer awareness, and so are some other people, but I've also seen people do it in different colors for different programs to bring awareness to other illnesses, things like that. So here's the chart. Okay. So I decided to do I was going to do it in pinks, and I bought all the pink DMCs, and then the longer it marinated, the longer I thought, I don't want to do it in pinks. I want it to mean something to me. So I got on the what do the ribbon colors mean? And at first I was going to do it for suicide awareness because both of my nephews committed suicide. And I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, my family has also dealt with a lot of mental illness, mental health issues. I don't want to say mental illness, but mental health issues. And mental health is something that we all need to acknowledge, good health, not so good health. And we need to say, yeah, I need help. I need to talk to somebody. Maybe I need to medicate. It's okay. But anyway, so the mental health awareness ribbons are green. So these are the greens. You need 2 greens. So these are the greens I chose. They're both DMC. And the one is 3345 and the other one is 3347. So there they are. And it takes a lot of the darker green. Whoops. Okay. And oddly enough, there's a green modeling in my fabric. So, I mean, here's the whole piece. I'm going to have extra. But I started up in the corner. And again, since it's pretty much monochromatic, it doesn't go, it goes pretty quickly. So again, that's what I got done working on during football games. So I'm pleased. So I'm up here. All right, I'm working on this big motif right there. I have this side one done. I have the heart done. I have this little thing done. But you can see when I get here, the 2 greens are going to be involved. And the word courage is done in the lighter green and so on. So, yeah. I'd also thought about doing it in red for I think that has to do with Mothers Against Drunk Driving or alcoholism awareness, because my mother was an alcoholic. So, yeah. All right, so that's that. So that's the courage sampler. I'm enjoying it, and again, I keep it in a sheet protector. All right. I haven't figured out how to accurately get a chart to take a picture or scan a picture with my iPad to load it into Markup RXP. So if anybody has any advice, let me know. All right. So another thing that called to me after I was done with my January pulls was the Equality Sampler by Plum Street. I am doing this on Vintage Homespun by R&R, 36 count. The actual called for is Vintage Homespun by R&R. How do you like that? So let me pull it out so you can see, because, again, we don't like looking through plastic. So there's the chart. Now, this was a stitch along begun by Jenny from Bougie Stitchers and I think Sandy from Stitching with Sandy. And I just sort of nosed my way into it, being the history nerd that I am. And when I bought this chart, I did not know that all of those words are stitched over one. My first experience with over one stitching was in Antong Ufendel. And I did that over one as tent stitch, which technically is half the cross stitch. Okay. It's like needlepoint. It looks okay. But now that I've gotten more comfortable with over one, I'm debating about going back and ripping that out and redoing it. But that's a whole nother story. We're not going to go there. So anyway, this is all about women getting the right to vote. All right. So, it says Declaration of Sentiments. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equal 1848, that would be from the Seneca Falls Convention, when Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Marianne Lucretia Mott, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Marianne McClintock made that statement. And the women's rights, believe it or not, women's rights movement really started back before the Civil War. So, yes. So I had picked this up ages ago. The called for flosses are a mess because, that's what I do. They are DMC, called for DMC and WIPS, I believe. And I ended up making a couple of substitutions because I don't think I had them. So the DMC, for caper, I substituted DMC 3787 because that's what it said I could do. I substituted DMC 3064 for cappuccino, and I substituted DMC 832, or bee's knees, for DMC 832. So, use what you got. But anyway, there they are. And they're a mess. And my DMCs are on beautiful floss tags that were made by my dear friend Chris the Camping Stitcher on her Cricut. Thank you, Chris. So again, not ironed, but it's off the hoop and it's resting. The wrinkles are resting. Don't we wish our wrinkles would rest? So before I started back on it again, I only had the flower in the corner and the letter D completed and the strawberry on the border. But there we go. I am pleased with the progress. And you can see the over one. I hope you can anyway. And it doesn't look too shabby. I'm pleased with it. Now, it could be that this is a little looser weave 36 count than what I'm doing Antong on. So maybe that's why I got frustrated with it and decided to do the 10 stitch. I have no idea. So we'll see. And the last thing I worked on a little bit more was my Bluebird sampler by Willow Hill Samplings. And daggone it, I found the chart. And do you think I know where I put it? Because I know that last time I couldn't find the chart and I was going to show it to you and I found it and I put it somewhere and now I don't know where it is. So that's the story of my life, right? So I am doing this with Gentle Arts Blackboard. It's like a deep bluish gray. All right. And I did a little bit more from the last time I showed you. I got the center motif. Whoop, that's the back. You don't want to see the back, do you? The center motif, I worked on that and got a little more done. So there we go. Whoop, where are you? So there we go. The nice thing about those Quakers is, like I said, those motifs make you feel like you accomplished something. So that, my friends, is what I have been working on the last couple of weeks. Ow. Sorry about that. I just hit my elbow on my sewing machine tray. Don't do that. It hurts. So I also, I am part of Teresa Kogut's Patreon. I am in Tier 4. And in Tier 4, like Tier 1, you have access to certain things. Tier 2, you have access to a little bit more, and so on. So in Tier 4, sorry, I'm going to put these in this basket so I don't trip over them. In Tier 4, you have access to everything. And one thing she does is a mystery stitch every year, I believe. A couple years ago, it was the strawberry sampler. So and she did it on Up in the Attic, 36 Count by Fox and Rabbit. So I don't know if you can see it. It's almost like a coffee with milk in it color. My daughter's making faces at me in the window. To you too. All right. So, thanks a lot. So anyway, this was very hard to find, and Fox and Rabbit graciously did a run just for this mystery. So I ordered it, and the shipping from Australia was fantastically quick, I thought. It's a fat quarter, so it's really not that big a piece. And the color chart, here, I'll show you the color chart. I'm not going to show you the picture. Well, maybe I will, because who knows, maybe you would like to join the Patreon, right? So this is the first part, and that's, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a rather long one. It's called Hometown. And so I started to go through, I don't know why. Some days I come home from school and I'm like the busy beaver. And I came home from school the other day and I was like, yeah, let's pull the threads. We're going to do this. And so I had DMC all over my table, but I was short like 4 of them. So then I pulled out my Weeks and my Classic Colorworks and my Color and Cotton, and I started, I got to use some of these other things. So I started and I went into the conversion charts in 1-2-3 Stitch for Weeks and Classic Colorworks, converting from DMC, to see what they suggested, and wrote it down on the chart. And then I, in 2 different spots with 2 different pens. And I went into Classic Colorworks to see how they had converted with DMC. Not all of them are listed. So some of this was simply by looking at the DMCs and coming up with a color that I thought was close enough. Some of the conversion suggestions were like way off. I don't know. It's probably the dye lots. But so I did my conversion on a few of the flosses. So you can see the DMC numbers. And then you can see what I have written down. That DMC 221 is the one that's used in the majority of the Prairie Schooler Santas. In 310, I just wanted to pull Weeks mascara and use it because I have a few skeins of that. Why not? And some of them I had pulled and didn't like what it did. So like down there on DMC, is it 3012? I pulled a Color and Cotton. DMC 838, I pulled a Color and Cotton. So there's going to be a little variegation in mine, but you know what? What the heck? I wanted to do that. So if you are interested in joining Teresa Kogut's Patreon, I think it's like $20 a month, and you can do that, or you can purchase the yearly membership, and then you're good for a year. And if you can afford it, and you love Teresa Kogut, it's worth it, because you get, at least in tier 4, I think we get like 3 charts free. And we're also getting the mystery, which and this is a 2-year mystery. All right. This is going to take place over 24 months. So it's going to be a while till this one is released. But, if it's a designer you love and you can afford it, why not? I'm not saying I can afford it, but while I'm teaching, I will. I know that Liz Matthews also has a Patreon. So if you are a Liz Matthews fan, I'm not sure who else does, but There you go. You can just put in cross stitch Patreon in Google. Where did we live without Google? So that's on the back burner. I'll try to put the link to Teresa Kogut's Patreon down below. TK Patreon link. And I mentioned Chris, right? And I mentioned Bougie. And I mentioned Sandy. All right. Let's see. What else is in the news before I show you my haul? I withdrew my name from StitchCon this year. And the reason I did it was because I want to go to Stitch New England in October. Something had to give. And if I'm, that was the one. I'm going to go to Pittsburgh in April to see my stitching peeps. And, that's like a 3-hour drive, depending on the weather. I hope to God it doesn't be a torrential downpour this year. And I also signed up for Grace Notes, which is in Allentown, PA in August. So like I said, I withdrew from StitchCon. It took me a good 3 or 4 weeks to decide that. And my friends up in New England, in fact, my friend Jane from Boss Stitchers, she's already booked the room, which we're going to share. And I can't register for Stitch New England until February 1st. So there you go. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's in October. And if you're interested in finding out information, you can go to the Stitch New England website. Right? Yes, Stitch New England. All right. So there we go. I will most likely drive simply because if there's other things I want to see in and around Rhode Island, I want to have the freedom to do that. Again, being the history nerd that I am, that's where the Industrial Revolution in America started. And I would love to go up to Pawtucket and see the mills. But I don't know if I'll get there. And who knows, maybe I'll go out of my way and go to Hobby House. But I don't know. That's like months away. So, plans, as far as stitchy plans, are just to continue with my WIPS. And see what I get done. But I'm feeling a lot better about my WIPS this year so far. I haven't touched Lady of the Flag in a while. I need to do that. I had to go back into school and copy a couple of pages for my work copies, and I don't know if I have it right yet because it's like I'm missing her shoulders. So I have to compare to what I had already copied and see what I've got. I think I feel bad because I know my dear friend who lent it to me said, can I have it back in a year? And I don't know if that's going to happen. But I want to get it back to her as soon as possible. But that's another story. All right, so let's talk about haul, right? So I'm a Packers fan. So I ordered some Packers fabric to make a project bag or two or a portfolio or something because, I got to have that. All right. A friend of mine that I met through Facebook, she has an Etsy shop, and I bought this simply because I thought it was pretty, so I'm going to make a project bag or two out of that. Like I need more fabric. Great. This is a 5-part series from Erica Michaels. I already had the first 3, so I got 4 and 5. Why not? What the heck? So you get a piece of it in each pattern. You have to buy all 5 pieces. Okay? So I thought that was pretty, and being a quilter, why not? All right. This is a piece of fabric I got in the mail. Sorry, my grandson had to tell me something. There was no return address on it. So if someone sent this to me, thank you very much. I don't remember ordering it, and I don't know what it is. But be that as it may, it was sent in a paper envelope without any, like, with no plastic bag. And I get it, but at the same time, it was like, if that envelope had gotten wet, I don't know what would have happened to the fabric. But anyway, it's just a word of caution that if you're going to send fabric or pattern or whatever, try to send it in an envelope that's either plastic or you put it in a plastic bag. Okay? So it's beautiful fabric. I honestly don't, but there's no label. All it says is 36 count. I don't know what it is. So if you send it to me, please let me know. And I thank you so very much. It's beautiful. It's a great neutral, but I don't know what it is. All right. Senility. Gotta love it. This was my fabric of the month from Color and Cotton. I am in the 36 half yard club, because if you're going to go big, you might as well go big or go home. It is called Mushroom Bold. It's a nice grayish brown, grayish tan. So that came. And I got my, I think I already showed you those. Yes, I showed you those last time. I got my Color and Cotton January Thread Club. I haven't even opened it yet. That's how much you mean to me. I didn't even open it yet because I knew if I put it in my Color and Cotton box, it would disappear into the depths of doom and never be seen again. Because that box is sad. I need to come up with a way to... I was thinking about a pegboard. I know IKEA makes a really cool pegboard. I'm sure IKEA makes a really cool pricey pegboard. But I'm a little concerned about hanging the floss out in the wild for fading. You know what I mean? If any of you have any experience in that, let me know. But I need to come up with some better organization. I do have my floss cabinets, but when you look at the number of DMCs there are, and you look at the number of Color and Cottons there are, and Weeks and Gentle Arts and all that, I don't have enough room for all those cabinets. So, yeah. So if you have any experience with putting thread on rings on a pegboard, let me know. Because where I would have to put it, it's not in direct sunlight, but I do have 2 windows in this room and a small window at the top of the door. And the sun comes up in that corner. And so I would get some of the morning sun, indirect sun. Where I would hang the pegboard would not get the afternoon sun. So anyway, that was much more information than you needed to know, but I appreciate you listening to me. So, I'm not quite sure what the theme is here, but this is Abyss. I love that blue, bluish green. You know what I mean? In fact, I wonder if this would be cool for Summer Quaker, for the mermaid. We'll have to see. This is Merlot, right? Coffee bean. You know, you can never have enough coffee. I never understood that with my parents. How they, I mean, when I was little, blech. Then I went to college and coffee became my friend. And yeah, this is almond latte. Sugar maple. I want to plant some sugar maples in my yard. Cloves. I love the smell of cloves. I am a clove addict. In fact, I have, that's not my cloves, but I have like empty spice containers for needle coffins, like if I break a needle or bend a pin. And Yeah. I just like to open up those containers just to smell them. Natural cotton. That might be a good color for my Santas, for their beards. I'm going to put that one aside. Allspice. Sort of a goldy brown. Mustard seed. A deeper goldy brown. In fact, some of these might be good for that Teresa Kogut thing. Sourdough. Starling. Those birds we love to hate. Full moon. Maybe that was the problem with the kids. Maybe there's been a full moon. I don't know. I never, ever, ever took stock in that until this year. Aloe vera. Antique rose. This is pretty. Brown sugar. Of course, now the Rolling Stones are in my head. Right? So I got those. We'll put natural cotton back over here. So if you're interested in a color and cotton club, you just need to check out their websites and see if they have openings. I don't know if they're going to put like any of these. I would hope they put these flosses into regular circulation. I don't know about the fabrics, but that's not my call. So for now, I don't plan on ending those. I did end my Fox and Rabbit fabric subscription with Gary and Ronnie, just because something had to give. So right now I'm in the Be Stitch Me Fabric Club and the Color and Cotton Fabric Club and the Color and Cotton Floss Club. Yes. Okay. All right. What else did I get? I bought this one off of Stash Unloading just because I love the colors. And you know what? Check that out. To me, Antique Rose, isn't that amazing? Antique Rose and Merlot. So that's going to be a quickie because it's like, well, it's part of the Garden Club series. Apparently there's a few of them, but it's this, a basket of cherries. I just liked it. And the bluebird. So the design is on 32 count. It's only 4x4. So yes. I wonder if that's what this is. I wonder. I purchased, I thought, a piece of Coco Weeks Dye Works. I wonder if that's what this is. And I ordered 36. Anyway. I also decided years ago that when I first saw these, I think that was from Laura from Brenda and the Cereal Starter. She had these. And there's 9 of them. It's in the Loose Feather series. And over time, I have collected all but number 5. And on 123 Stitch, they had them. And so I ordered this. This is number 5. And eventually, I would like to put them all in the same piece of fabric. And, lo and behold, I ordered 2 of them. Because, I can't count. This was a piece of linen that Grace Notes put up on their Facebook page, and it's a fat quarter. It's called Mystery, and it has like a greenish color. I just thought it was, cool. Why not? You never know what you can do with that. They sent a cute little a bag of peppermint bark tea and a cute little owl sticker. I might send that one to my daughter because she loves owls. And after many days of consideration, a couple weeks of consideration actually, I went and I ordered Winter Moon by Plum Street from, can you see that? From Plum Street, from Country Sampler in Wisconsin. You cannot just order the chart. So you either order the kit with 36 or 40 count fabric. It's on Saltbush from Fox and Rabbit. And according to this, on the 36, the design should be about 8 1/4 by 9 1/3. You get the fabric, and you get all the colors. And now they're all falling out because we can. I probably didn't need the threads, but in fact, I know I didn't because I have whitewash by WIPS. So yes, so I got that, and it'll get done. I have Summer Moon because, you know, there's big old red houses, just, you know, they said Nancy. So I have that. I do not have Spring Moon because it didn't do anything for me. I mean, I love the blues, but I wish it was a house instead of a bowl. So anyway, that's just me. So if you're interested in this, you need to go to Country Sampler in Wisconsin. I'll put the link down below. Country Sampler. And you can get the kit. At least I think you still can. So that's about it. I'm surprised I've talked for almost an hour. I'm looking forward to when Brenda Gervais opens up her website again. It says she's taking January off to get ready for market, which is awesome. Market's just around the corner. And there's a couple things on her website that I would like to get a hold of that I've seen other people working on. But I have plenty to keep me busy, right? Right. In fact, I don't know what I'm going to do when my student teacher starts teaching, because usually I sit in the back and I work on things and I revamp units and I look and see what I can get rid of and what I can't. I'm retiring at the end of the year. And so I really don't have to work on school stuff. Yeah, I made the decision. I can retire at 62 with full benefit, well, to get my full retirement with 20 plus years. When I retire, I think I'll have 23 years. I think I mentioned this last week. So yeah, it's time. I don't think my knees are going to handle another couple of years to get to, 65. So anyway, that's the decision. So, I will put a picture of my spreadsheet in where I need to put that in. I will put the links down below for everything I mentioned. Oh, we need to have, where'd they go? We need to have the share away because people didn't claim theirs. So the first one that was not claimed is the Butternut Road Celtic banner. This was one of the charts that my stepmother gave me. It's from Marilyn Levitt Emblem. It was, I don't see the copyright date, but the model was stitched on hand-dyed 29 count cotton fields by Glen Shee Linen. I don't even know if that exists anymore. So cut the fabric is 1.5 yards by 11. I have not opened this yet. So yeah. So if you are interested in this, let's use the word banner, BANNER, banner. Okay. And the second one that was not claimed was Quilty Barn, published by It's So Emma, and it's a design by Lori Holt. So if you are interested in this share, please use the word barn, BARN. please don't use the word giveaway. Don't use the word, winner. Don't use, whatever. You must be over 18 so that I can ask for your address. We don't want the creepers coming in thinking that, we have a bunch of free stuff here. And please only enter if you are truly interested. So I'm going to give this until my next video, and you need to email me at the email down below, disorderlystitcher@gmail.com. And in the subject bar, put the name of the chart that, when you win it, you email me, and yeah, so we'll take care of that when it happens. But if you are interested in this, use the word barn. If you are interested in this, use the word banner. BANNER. Didn't even know I was flashing part of the chart at you. So there we go. So, stitchy friends, quilty friends, I don't have any quilting to show you. I did take the 2 wall hangings and the quilt to my friend to quilt, and I just told her to take her time, not a problem. I did work on a few quilt blocks, but nothing major. So please, please, please take care of yourselves. Stitch what you love and keep those stitches crossed. All right. Take care of yourself. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.